All right, welcome back. We continue right here with our GMC tweet of the night. And sad news today, Pat Narduzzi put this out from Pitt. The Goose, always bigger than life on and off the field, forever a Pitt man and never forgotten. And then on the same day, the Ravens say they are profoundly saddened by the tragic passing of Jalen Ferguson. Of course, Siragusa played in Baltimore for the last 5 years of his career, won a Super Bowl in 2000. Larger-than-life personality. I'm not sure what happened there. As far as Ferguson, no cause of death was given, but 26, man, that is a terrible loss for a family, for an organization. As far as Siragusa, though, Chris, he was one of those larger-than-life personalities, and every time you saw him, I thought he carved out a pretty good career for himself, given that personality, and just, he never shied away from who he was, a big, burly guy who told you in very Yunzer terms what was going on the football field.
Yeah, I thought he was always a lot of fun as an analyst because he had a very down-to-earth, almost over-the-top blue-collar personality. So that was kind of a refreshing change because so many of those guys, even the good ones, you can tell they're coached up and sort of the personality sometimes gets coached out of them. Don't be yourself. John Madden, that's why people love Madden, because he would tell you the game in layman's terms even if it was at a high level at the same time. Siragusa was authentically and unapologetically Tony Siragusa, and I think he's a guy, Bob, that had he come along and played and been the exact same guy but retired in 2010 or 2013, you would see Tony Siragusa everywhere right now. He was 15 years too early as far as the media landscape. People would be craving a guy like that now to be part of a podcast or something. You look at the success of a Pat McAfee. I think in that way, Siragusa sort of was a precursor, was a glimpse into the future of what people were going to want out of analysts, out of athletes who turned to media. He was great at it, man. He was a lot of fun to watch when he was on television.
He's almost like Rob Gronkowski before Rob Gronkowski came along, that kind of personality.
He's in the Barkley mold. He was himself.
And he would have got a lot of endorsement money, too. Even more than he
absolutely.
Ever made.
Well, I think the thing with him is that I said this on the show today. I'll say it here real quick. I always think of athletes as so hyper-focused because they have to be to reach the pinnacle of the sport, to play at the highest level. It's always impressive to me that you can have a guy like Siragusa who comes off as just so utterly relaxed and down-to-earth and just genuine when you know he had to be working so hard, but he's kind of just like wake up, roll out of bed, play nose tackle, roll back in bed, eat some nice sandwiches along the way, and be Tony Siragusa. Seriously, that was the guy's whole persona.
It was, and he was also an overachiever. Never drafted, and they had 12, I think, rounds back then. Ends up making a 12-year career out of it. So, rest in peace. And I feel bad at 55 years. That's way too young, and certainly the best to his family. All right, let's go out to the lines here, Chris. We have Bruce in Brookline, who's first up. Hey, Bruce.
Yeah. Hey, Bob. Hey, Chris. R.I.P. Goose. He's one of the best pitmen of all time. One of my favorite Goose stories was before the 1989 John Hancock Bowl. He had a pretty bad bout with diarrhea, so he had to tape up his butthole. Are you guys familiar with that story at all?
I actually heard that through another person, but I don't know if yours is the same. And I'm also very cautious about asking you how this ends, so I don't know if we should continue.
I think if we're talking about taping up that particular body part, we can guess what might have happened here. But you know what's funny? I would normally dismiss that as an outrageous call, but with Siragusa, you kind of get the sense that it was a distinct possibility that something like that actually would have happened, and that would have been Tony Siragusa's solution to the problem. Just tape it up.
I do remember, though, maybe this is a trend for him. He was in town for a banquet once and got to know him a little bit, and he did say that for whatever reason, when he was with the Colts, I believe, that he had a night where he just, in case of the runs, he had to leave the field several times.
Very odd, though, that you would have that.
Your defense would go, hey, I need to be replaced. Come on, let's do it again.
Bob, ultimately, isn't that the big irony? A guy who was known for stopping the run would have to leave the game because he could not stop the run? That's unbelievable irony there.
It is.